Teen Machoism, the act of acting tough. Teenage shows a strange phase of life. Person starts seeing things differently, his thought process and view towards life changes. Not only that, but in most cases, a person as a whole changes too. When one reaches teenage, the changes in his character can be really drastic. I can say that because I've seen it happen. Because back in the day, I had a friend, let's name him Variant. So the thing about Variant is that he was a really sweet, kind and innocent guy. But as the time went by, he turned into something really strange, out of human boundary, and became one of his own kind. As during teenage, what most teens do is they act tough, or at least try to, but Variant didn't. He didn't just try to act tough like us, he literally embodied all the toughness and machoism and became what can be called as teen macho. That machoism of his show was fine until it started becoming toxic. It's not that he ever went out of his zone or boundary to hurt or harm anybody. In fact, he never did anything at all. Never got into any conflict or fight. He never had anything to say about anything. He never had an opinion about anything. But he always compared life and situation with the grand scheme of things and always asked us saying, does it even matter in the face of oblivion? Whenever he had to make certain life decisions. Variant such approach towards life was what was making him toxic, even when he had done nothing at all. He was walking down the road of toxic masculinity. The closest thing that his teenage persona or teenage masculinity represented would be Tyler Durden. Just like Tyler, Variant was also into things like stoicism. In simple words, stoicism is an art of not caring about things that don't matter much in life, and one who performs stoicism is called stoic. So Variant wanted to become a stoic, but he overdid it. He overdid it to the point that he started to walk down the wrong path. He went from not caring about things that don't matter much in life to not caring about anything at all. And his goal shifted too, from wanting to become a stoic to wanting to become indifferent. And this is from where his journey starts getting really disturbing. To become indifferent, he gave up on very trait that makes us human, which is empathy. The sad part about all this is that not only did he try to give up on his empathy, but he succeeded too, and became a psychopath in making. There is this speech about monsters.
There are many types of monsters in this world. Monsters who will not show themselves and who cause trouble. Monsters who abduct children. Monsters who devour dreams. Monsters who suck blood. And monsters who always tell lies. Lying monsters are a real nuisance. They are much more cunning than other monsters.
They pose as humans, even though they have no understanding of the human heart. They eat, even though they've never experienced hunger. They study, even though they have no interest in academics. They seek friendship, even though they do not know how to love.
And that's the very thing he became. Although he faked himself in front of others, but he was real and honest to me. So every time when we had conversation, I used to realize how much of his perception towards things had changed, and after not having empathy left, how inhuman those perception of his had become. Now there were not only changes in his perception and point of view, but also in his character, attitude and behavior. Variant used to sit at the back alone. In fact, he used to never even move an inch from his place, always sat in the same posture, with a strange expression on his face as if he's onto something. And every time something chaotic in the class used to happen, Variant used to enjoy it. He had the look in his eye of someone who just wants to watch the whole world burn. I always try to not make a big deal out of it, saying to myself that they're just his thought and words which exist only in his head. It's not that he has ever done or taken any action that are out of ordinary or questionable, but I was wrong. As there is this saying by Gandhi that one's thought becomes his action. So Variant started turning his disturbing thoughts into action and reality. He used to always come up with this very messed up worst case scenario. Like every time when everyone is enjoying and having good time, then there will be him telling scenarios like, what if we all die right here and now? What if the bus on the other side of the road comes and hit us? What if an earthquake comes and this building next to us falls and kills each and every one of us? Well, it's pretty normal to say stuff like this in between friends and goof around. But he used to not goof around or joke. Instead, if you look at his face when he says all this stuff, you can see that the look on his face tells you he wishes that to happen. He genuinely wants such an inhuman thing to happen. But that was not all. As I dived deep into his mind, the things I learned were really shocking. That is, in order to give up empathy, what Variant did was he started watching very graphical movies and tried to not feel a thing, no matter what was shown in the movie. But seeing the teen macho and indifferent that he has become, it's pretty sure that he watched those movies with an ease. And the fact that shocked us the most were the movies that he had watched. Because the movies Variant had watched and was into were not just only graphical, but they were graphically disturbing, and that too on hardcore level. Some movies he was into were like as a Serbian film, Cannibal Holocaust, the Human Centipede film series, and many other guinea pig exploitation movies. Yet still we comforted ourselves saying they are just movies, fiction, such graphical things shown in the movie can be real, it's fine, not that of a big deal. But no, that wasn't all. He used to also participate in really disgusting challenges on the internet where graphical videos were shown, but this time these graphical videos were real, which happened to real people, where really blood and stuff were shown. But Variant used to watch them without even flinching or feeling any discomfort, with a straight face and with no sympathy or empathy in his eyes. He didn't feel a thing while watching newborn scene from a Serbian film. He didn't feel disgusted watching human flesh consumption scene from cannibal movies. He didn't feel sorry watching person getting tortured in those Red Room videos. He didn't feel frightened watching human getting decapitated. He didn't feel disturbed watching a person's body getting cut off and experimented on in those guinea pig films. But even if we disregard all of that, there still exists this very disturbing fact that I cannot come to overlook. Because in truth, I am that variant.